This also goes for every Trinbagonian who want to live in a foreign land. Now is the time to come home and do something instead of staying out there and freezing. Because now, more than ever, we must show discipline, tolerance, and production to build a strong and better nation. I say that is the main foundation. So come let us work hand in hand, because this is our land.
So come let us work hand in hand, because this is our land. Let us transform Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. This is our home. We must enhance it. We must transform it. I want to welcome you to this segment in the program. I want to encourage those on Facebook and YouTube to please share the live. Sharing is caring. I want to start off this morning by sharing a little positive news, and then we're going to get into the meat of today's conversation. So the people of Carriacou, they can look forward to pipe-borne water throughout Carriacou in short order.
A quiet but historic shift is on the way in Carriacou. An island, long burdened by dry taps and water trucks, is now looking to a more secure future. On May 30th, the National Water and Sewerage Authority broke ground on a project that many have been waiting for decades.
As I boarded Osprey and I'm making a trip across the water, I'm thinking to myself, water connects us all. Grenada to Carriacou, and now Nawassa to every home in Carriacou.
The multi-million-dollar G-Cruise project will install two 100,000-gallon water storage tanks, one in Bel Air and another in Mount Royal. More than 6 kilometers of new pipeline will be laid and a second desalination plant added in Boucher-Jus. It's the biggest water investment in the island's history.
And that means you no longer have to choose, am I going to wash my clothes? Am I going to take a long shower? How many meals am I going to cook? No more will you be worrying whether tomorrow's shower will impact what you use on the third day. No more will you be worrying, am I going to get rainfall so that I can supply my family with day-to-day water? So Carriacou will no longer be feeling that Nawassa has left you out. We are bringing you along as our nation develops.
Minister for Carriacou and Petite Martinique Affairs, Tevin Andrews, used the moment to reflect on the harsh realities of climate change, particularly for small islands that contribute the least, yet suffer the most.
Carriacou and Petite Martinique, we contribute nothing, as a matter of fact, to the climate changes we're experiencing on an annual basis. But yet for all, we feel the brunt of every single thing. So if anybody understands what climate change is all about, it's really and truly the people of Carriacou and Petite Martinique. And for centuries, we've managed to adapt. But each year, it gets worse. And our resilience is tested each year. So projects like these is needed, and needed now more than ever.
He also called for a faster track between funding approval and project implementation, noting that delays often cost communities far more than time.
We must, as government and as funding agencies and other organizations, find a way to lessen the bureaucracy when it comes to funding projects that are externally funded. It takes too long to get off the ground.
From a historical perspective, GIZ's Marion Guys reminded the audience that Carriacou's battle for water access isn't new, but now they're equipped with the tools to win.
The story of Carriacou's relationship with water is one of perseverance and adaptation, a testament to the enduring human effort to secure the most precious resource against the backdrop of a challenging environment. in climate change.
For the Ministry of Health, the project also brings direct benefits. A dedicated supply line to Princess Royal Hospital will be installed, ensuring that vital services aren't interrupted by water shortages.
But the way to really imagine the impact of the National Water and Sewage Authority on the nation is to be without water. And for this hospital at Princess Royal, the matron and the administrator and the rest of the staff will tell you, if there is no water at this facility, we definitely will have to shut down. This hospital needs a consistent supply of water. And if we do not have that, we cannot offer the service that is needed on this part of our country.
With shovels in the ground, the message was clear. Carriacou is no longer waiting, it's building. And for residents there, this isn't just a sod turning, it's a turning point.
Thank you very much there, Nawasa. That's a very good piece from Nawasa. So it's really good to see the development that's taking place in Carriacou and PT Martinique. You know, step by step, they're getting there, they're developing, they're moving to the next level. I really love to see that.
Set sail into a night of elegance and enchantment as we celebrate leadership and legacy aboard the Prime Minister's cruise on Sunday, June 22nd. A spectacular all-inclusive premium evening on the newest jewel in luxury cruising, Ecstasy. Indulge in exquisite food, delight yourself in handcrafted cocktails, and enjoy spectacular views as we drift along the shimmering water under a canopy of stars. Whether you're toasting to progress or simply indulging in a night of class and comfort, this exclusive cruise is the place to be. Tickets are $350 EC and include everything. Yes, everything. But space is limited and luxury awaits for no one. We look forward to welcoming you as we celebrate 3 years of leadership on Sunday, June 22nd. The Prime Minister's Cruise. Let's toast to progress and unity.
Yes, and remember, you can pick up your ticket or tickets at Optical St. George's Optical Grandance and at the NDC office in Redgate. So remember, you need to get your ticket. It's $350. All right, so please try to pick up your ticket today, because remember, after that, it's only what you have Saturday, tomorrow, and that's it.
Brooklyn, are you ready for the party of the year? Calling all Grenadians, Carriacunians, and Petit Martinicans. The NDC New York chapter is turning up the celebration heat for our third election victory anniversary bash. Picture this, DJ Dude doing his thing and small clothes rocking the yard, sizzling food, and a bar that's unbreakable. It's all happening June 21st, 7 p.m. until late at 618 East 87th Street in Fun City, Brooklyn. Bring your crew, bring your moves, and get in the groove. Donation is only $30 and includes a complimentary meal. Don't miss the celebration everyone is talking about. And one more thing, wear something yellow, wear something red. Call 646-675-5454. For more information, visit the chapter at ndcnewyorkchapter.com.
Right, so that's the event in New York tomorrow, God's willing. All right, tomorrow, God's willing. And St. John, their cruise is a little later.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time again. Get ready to turn up the energy and celebrate in style as NDC St. John.
Let me play, because it's audio. It's audio. Let me play it. Audio version. All right, let me play audio version.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time again. Get ready to turn up the energy and celebrate in style as NDC St. John proudly presents the most anticipated event of the summer. It's Shake It to the Max. Shake It to the Max. The night cruise. All going down on Friday, June 20th. We take the vibe to another level. We celebrate another anniversary through transformation. A journey of progress, power, and pure party energy. We board the Kayak Princess on the Lance Jetty in Guam. Boarding time 7 p.m. and we sail 8 p.m. sharp. The hottest DJs will be on board. Selector Shaki, DJ I, Top Sound, Anil, and Juvie. Get your tickets for only $75. Get yours now from any St. John.
Right. So coming to the end there, that piece, Missing Out, any St. John member of the executive branch, the office, you can get your tickets there. Mr. Walker, my good partner, Hilary Walker at Licks and Bites, you can get your tickets there. All right. So we wish them all the best. That is tonight. And then the kayak, the Karakou Parsi, they have the event in New York on the 28th. All right, let me try to get that here. Let me get this. All right.
A vibrant evening inspired by the beauty and colorful blooms of the Bougainvillea plant awaits you as the Carriacou and Petit Martinique NDC support group welcomes you to Bougain, a spectacular floral soiree on Saturday, June 28th, starting at 7 p.m. Enjoy an all-inclusive outdoor experience at 618 East 87th Street in Brooklyn. Get ready to treat your senses and enjoy the culinary delights at Bougain. Indulge in an exquisite feast featuring a mouth-watering selection of scrumptious dishes, savor flavors from around the world, with everything from savory appetizers to delectable desserts that will leave you craving more. Dance the night away to the fantastic sounds of Dr. Wax and DJ Screw. Tickets are just $80. For ticket information, contact Nick at 347-528-3038, Glenn at 718-450-4436, Stephen at 347-385-6583, or Peter at 347-729-5770. Join us at Bougain on June 28th for a night that celebrates life, friendship, and the beauty of nature.
Right, so that event there on the 28th. All right, good. So quite a bit happening. But I want to move now to something, moving away from all the ads and all the promo, because I know I have to promote the other event in Canada. All right, that's the event at 477 Oakwood Avenue, Canada. That's the barbecue and celebrations and so on there. All right, so that event is on the 20 something. 20 what? 22nd? All right, let me just get it somewhere here. Right. So that event is on the 22nd. And you need to book your space in advance. All right. But let me get into a conversation because I think that's important. I had the opportunity to listen to a piece that Anna posted. All right. Anna, everybody knows Anna Augustine. And I concluded that the people who speak for the opposition, they are out there saying all kinds of stuff. And the opposition is not coming out and say that these people do not represent them. So they're out there saying all kinds of stuff, but they are not publicly coming out and saying, well, these people do not represent us. So this guy, and I seldomly play him or feature him on the program, but this guy, I think his name is Ziggy. This is what he had to say recently.
You go on, see if you can get a big foot before the year end. Go on. You think you play with Carriacou people. Play with Carriacou people and see if you can give a big foot. See if you can get a big foot. I find you go on, see if you can get a big foot before the year end. Go on. You think you play with Carriacou people. Play with Carriacou people and see if you can give a big foot. See if you can get a big foot. I find you doing too much and you don't care. And the money you're playing with is not your money.
Right. So this guy is saying that about our prime minister, right? And you wonder, the opposition is not coming out and distance themselves or condemn this guy. You have this guy making that kind of pronouncement, right? In other words, when you talk about Bigfoot and that one will get Bigfoot, in Grenada's context, people tend to see that person as referring to witchcraft or obeah or something evil, something bad. And you wonder, you wonder because the opposition is not coming out and speak up against that kind of rhetoric, that kind of language coming from this, well, those individuals, because we don't know what's going down. You're getting it from them because they push the opposition and certain narratives. And then you hear them saying all these kinds of stuff. And you wonder why they're not coming out and condemn these things. Why they're not coming out and say, well, look, you're going too far, or you cross the line, or that does not represent who we are, that kind of thing. But they would remain there and they would just, it's like, it's no problem. It's no problem. And then you have, and for those who, I just played it, for those who did not hear it, let me play it again. Because the guy, I mean, he's fighting to pronounce certain words, but you would kind of get a sense of what he's saying.
You go on, see if you can get a big foot before the year end. Go on. You think you play with Carriacou people. Play with Carriacou people and see if you can give a big foot. See if you can get.
My thing is, he's including Carriacou in all of this. And he's sending the wrong message. What he's actually implying is that Carriacou people going to give him this. What is he really saying? Because what we do know is that the people of Carriacou and Petit Martinique, they are loving people, they are honest people, they are sincere people. They don't dabble in what this guy is actually speaking about. But he's dragging them in all of this. Because I just realized he was mentioning Carriacou people. Right? Is he a kayak or something?
Get a big foot. I find you doing too much. You go on, see if you can get a big foot before the year end. Go on. You think you play with Carriacou people. Play with Carriacou people and see if you can give a big foot. See if you can get a big foot.
Right, so he's talking about what, Carriacou people? And you wonder, it's like this guy is a part of them, right? He's a part of them. And that is what is scary about all of this. Because I remember some years ago, or not years ago, maybe months ago, right? Nolan, I think it's Nolan Cox. The Cox guy, he actually invited this guy up on some stage, sometime back. On some stage, the NNP had something, right? So they made it clear. Some Cox, I think it's Cox, something like that. this Cox guy in Carriacou. I have it somewhere there, right? Somewhere around in the archives, where he invited this, or not invited, but saluted this guy or said certain things about this guy and had the NNP folks applauding and so on, right? Something like that. But I'm saying this is not of good taste. You see, it is one thing to be doing a podcast and having a good command of the English language, where you can say certain things in certain way and get the message across. But this guy, to me, he needs help. He needs help. I mean, I realize he has, well, maybe he wants to show off his new dentures or whatever he has in his mouth. Maybe. And as a result, he's going off on a tangent and saying all of those things. But it's problematic.
You go on, see if you can get a big foot before the AM. Go on. You think you play with Carriacou people. Play with Carriacou people and see if you can give a big foot. See if you can get, you go on, see if you can get a big foot before the AM. Go on. You think you play with Carriacou people. Play with Carriacou people and see if you can give a big foot.
Yeah, and and the guy is dragging the Carriacou people in all of this. And that is what's concerning. And he's all over the internet. I think he has a podcast or something on the internet where he says all kinds of stuff. And I mean, people not even studying him. But when he says these things, he's crossing the line. This is a threat. He's crossing the line. But the NNP, they would not come out and say that what this guy is saying does not represent them. They would not distance themselves from him. But this is what the opposition forces in Grenada look like. That is what they look like. And it scares me because remember, the NNP wants to come back in power. But this guy is out there saying certain things. He was seen at the event at the Trade Center. I think they had a general council or something there. And he's with them, always with them. But they're not coming out and condemn these things. But he's out there. And then you wonder, that is what the NNP will look like if they're back in power? Or that is what they believe they should do to get back in power? To say these kind of things? It's, I don't know, man. I just don't know.
You go on, see if you can get a big foot before the AM. Go on. You think you play with Carriacou people. Play with Carriacou people and see if you can give a big foot. See if you can get a big foot. I find you're doing too much and you don't care. And the money you're playing with is not your money.
It's concerning, and I don't know. I just don't know, because these people are not the NNP. They're not coming out and condemn this or say anything about what this guy is saying. They're not. All right. Hello? 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 Yeah, good morning. I'm live on my program. No, you can't. You can't call me on this number if you want to make a comment. You have to call me on 538-0933. All right. Yeah, so if you want to make a comment, you have to call me on 538-0933. That's the number you can get on live. So if you want to, and you're free to make a comment. You're free to make a comment. So the number you have to call is 538-0933. You are free. So the caller was saying he's from Carriacou. right? So it's you're free. You're free to call and comment. The number is 5380933. So I don't know if this guy is from Carriacou, right? The Ziggy guy. And I don't know if he has any following there or but anybody with a little sense would kind of say, but why? I mean, you crossed the line. But the NNP is not coming out and condemn him or distance themselves from him. They love what he's doing, in my belief, or what he's saying. All right. It's I don't know, man. I just don't know. I don't even know what to say. Because you're listening to this guy and you say, but that is what the opposition has. That's all you got. That's all. But again, the number, if you want to comment, if you want to speak, if you want to say something, you can. The number is 5380933. All right, you're free if you want to see something. Good morning. Hi.
Ken Jones, yes, good morning.
Good morning.
This guy is from Carriacou.
Who is from Carriacou?
Yes.
Okay.
But we can't worry the man because he has sense.
All right.
All right, good morning. I'm calling from Carriacou too.
Okay. Hello? Hello?
Okay.
Hey,
Yes.
good morning.
Morning. Yeah, I'm from Carriacou. I'm calling from Carriacou.
Okay.
And I know the guy, but he don't represent Carriacou. Carriacou people is not like that. As a matter of fact, this guy is an embarrassment to Carriacou people. I'm feeling bad as a guy to hear the nonsense this happy that is talking. This guy he's naming the road, marking the road, he cannot make it out, you know. So you see kind of lunatics like me. That's on podcast talking nonsense. You know? So he's totally embarrassing Carriacou people. I mean, he represents the NNP. Why you don't say the NNP? Instead, I want to implicate Carriacou people.
So what, he follows NNP up there or something?
Yeah, he's one of them activists.
Oh, he's an NNP activist.
Yeah.
Oh, I see, because I realized that he's always wearing the NNP jerseys and other things like that. And then he was seen
so
at
he talk for the NNP, he represent them. So
Oh, I was unaware of that.
We are loving people and we
or
like our
he just he does a podcast. He does a podcast. He represents the NNP.
Yeah.
Because I'm wondering, because he speaks, he says certain things, but I don't think the NNP will endorse these kind of things and push these kind of things.
But they're not condemning what he's getting.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that there's a need for him to come out for them to come out and condemn this.
Remember the fire in Harveyville? And he was on social media talking about the whole Carriacou go burn down. Like same guy.
This guy is sad. It's a sad case.
Yeah, he's embarrassing us, man.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's a sad case. It's a really sad case. All I'm saying is he's out there, right, talking, saying all kinds of stuff, and the NNP is not condemning him. I don't believe that is the sentiment or the values of the NNP, or else something is totally wrong. Totally wrong. I mean, this guy, and you see, and he dragged the kayaks or the people from Carriacou in his stupidness. Good. Hello.
Good morning.
Hey, morning. How you doing?
I'm trying.
All right.
Yeah. These people have nothing to campaign on. You have to remember that. What they couldn't do in 23 and a half years, this government do it in less than 3 years. And Grenada expect much more in time to come from this government. So the opposition have nothing to campaign on, so they would not condemn these things. Check social media, and you will see all the things they're writing up, all the comments they're making. You remember, you see how they hang in Delma? She was the best MP, in the NNP. but she crossed the floor, she's the worst. And you will see much more coming up before the campaign starts. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, but it's sad. It's sad. I mean, the people of Carriacou and Petit Martinique, they're nice people. They're loving people. They're kind people. They're good people. And to see all of this, it's terrible. It is terrible. What this guy is saying and dragging the people of Carriacou in his mess. It's really sad. But he's not far, in my belief, from Keith Mitchell, because Keith Mitchell should be the last person to talk about character and people's character. Good. Hello.
Good morning, Mr. Kim Jones.
Good morning.
Well, to be honest with you, I mean, from a medical point of view, I think this man have a mental disorder, because this kind of nonsense this man speaking there. I just wonder if he went to school at all. Maybe he went to school in August, because Carriacou people are so loving people. You don't hear about this iniquity in Carriacou. People talk the nonsense. But from the time I was a little boy, I know Carriacou people, very nice people. And he talk about fire. And I mean, I think the NNP should really condemn him. I'm not saying they endorse that, but once they hear that, they should distance themselves and say, well, look, we are not part of this nonsense that he's talking. Because giving a man a big foot, you find that making any sense? That guy should just go back and rewind the tape and listen what he's saying, if it makes any sense. And I wouldn't even comment and lament about him again to get him popular on social media, because I find he's just a waste of time, Kim, and we shouldn't even bother with him. And because that's utter rubbish, nonsense. I wouldn't bother with him because he's just a waste of time, and he's just trying to get popularity. Have a good day, Kim.
All right. Thank you very much. But that's not the way to get popularity, because you're often in Carriacou, and the people of Carriacou, I mean, they're good people, they're nice people, decent people. And you don't drag them in your stupidness, you see? And that's the problem. You get them involved in, because this this particular short video, that's on social media all about the place. And people are listening to this idiot. And you wonder. And there are people who would listen to his program or his podcast or whatever he does online. They would listen to him. But this is what he's saying. And you wonder, Right. So I was saying Keith Mitchell is not far from this guy. Keith Mitchell should be the last person to talk about anybody's character. He should be the last person. So he had this to say about Andy Williams.
And the second one was the issue of the first time I'm appointing somebody like Andy Williams as as acting prime minister. I mean, I could give you a story of Andy, which may be relevant. I don't think he has the capacity. My assessment of him, listening to him speak, clearly he doesn't understand the issues and so on, and his character defects are well known, and he himself has admitted to that, so to speak. So when you have that situation, someone like that, and you place him as acting prime minister, and my experience with him, I was being asked over and over when I was prime minister to this gentleman wants to see me, want to speak to me, because he has so much admiration for me and so on. That's what the individual said to me. I'm minister of my government. And I finally agreed after many, many requests to see the gentleman in my office in Bushaju. And he came in and he started talking and all over the place. And I listened to him. I was not impressed. So the conversation didn't last more than half an hour. I said little because I didn't know him at all. And the next thing he went outside, he said that he went and see me and I asked him to run for the South. No conversation of politics came up. So when a man could do that, to say something that a discussion he had to the prime minister of the country that had absolutely no truth whatsoever, he told me something about his character. And that time I had Nolan Cox in the South representing the NNP as likely to be the candidate. So for him to say that I asked him to run is almost like doing shows a serious character defect on my part. And I therefore called an individual who asked me to see the gentleman. And I know that person dealt with him very harshly. But that is, I just gave an example to show the character of the individual. Some people tell me he's in Northwest, in my constituency, preparing to promote persons. Well, he's the best person to come in Northwest, a constituency that has never voted for NDC in the best of times, even the worst of times for NMP. That constituency has given you at least 80% support to the new National Party. And for you to come after...
Right. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. How you doing?
They quiet, man. Listen, I'm not trained in psych, so in anybody, doctor, no medical field to know who's psych. But I find this young man, he wants help. And sometimes we may just overshadow things. And when you see things happen, we will say if we didn't know, because the amount of things that man saying about people, he will say about Kim people. I hope he never get people. Kai thiefing. I hope he never thief. Delma say long. If when Delma was with them, she take this pick up and she chest, but as she walk out from the NMP, they know how long she take it. But I find the NMP should announce that they have no plans. But to me, they're setting him up to do this kind of thing. I never know Carrico people just give people big foot. But if Carrico people giving big foot, we all want to get to big foot because we go soap with kayak until we can't soap with them anymore. Okay.
All right. Thank you very much, dear. Thank you very much, dear. Yes. So Keith Mitchell should be the last person to talk about people's character. He should be the last person. All right. And this guy is going after Andy with all of these things. And you ask yourself, what Keith Mitchell talking about character? I mean, we all know what we've been through under Keith Mitchell and what happened under him. We all know. So this guy, I mean, he should be the last person to talk about character, the very last. But I knew that they wanted Andy on their side. So they're uptight, upset. They didn't get him on their side. Don't worry him, you know. They wanted him on their side. They didn't get him. So they're existing in regrets. So they have all kinds of stuff to say about the guy. They want to attack him. They want to talk about his character. They want to look who talking about character now. Keith Mitchell, yes. That character. Folks, you have to understand. Keith Mitchell was Prime Minister of Grenada. His cousin was involved in a private venture. Private. A company. A call center company. Private. It was not a government company. It was private. The company had financial troubles. Instead of the company going to a bank to bail them out, they approached the Keith Mitchell-led administration, the government at the time. But his cousin was involved in that call center company. And the Keith Mitchell-led administration, government at the time, gave that company, right? Gave that company $9 million. $9 million. And they said, well, it's a investment in the company and we were going to get some returns on it. 40% returns or something like that. So that's $9 million. $9 million out of taxpayers' money. The Keith Mitchell-led administration gave to that company involving his cousin. Right? In other words, that company had a person who is Keith Mitchell's cousin. $9 million. So the Keith Mitchell-led administration, the government at the time, gave to that company, that call center company, $9 million of taxpayers' money. And that company involved Keith Mitchell's cousin. And they did not stop there, The Keith Mitchell-led administration then gave that same company another $9 million as a guarantee, meaning the government of Grenada signed as a guarantor with a bank, saying to the bank, if this company does not pay this $9 million, right? This $9 million, the people of Grenada will pay it. So that's $18 million right there. $18 million. But I did not stop there. The government of Grenada had shares in Cable and Wireless. They sold the shares in Cable and Wireless. And the government supposed to receive 4.2 or $4.5 million, something around there. But 4 point something million dollars. And that money had to go into the treasury to fix roads, schools, pay salaries, help young people and that kind of thing, help the elderly. But that 4 point something million dollars went towards paying the debt that same company involving Keith Mitchell's cousin had with Cable and Wireless. So 22 point something million dollars. 22 point something million dollars was lost by the Keith Mitchell-led administration because the company within no time went bankrupt, folded up, and we ain't hearing nothing about that anymore. So taxpayers lost 22 point something million dollars just like that. But remember, it was the Keith Mitchell-led administration who gave this company all of this money. And the company was involving Keith Mitchell's cousin. I mean, it's amazing, But they believe that we forget. They believe that we forget and they could get away with all these things. They believe that the Grenadian people forget. Because, population is fairly young. A lot of people don't follow history and they could care less. But that's 22 point something million dollars that could have been fixing the roads, fixing schools, fixing the medical stations, helping young people, helping elderly people, fixing houses, and so on and so forth. I'm talking about 22 point something million dollars. And this guy, Keith Mitchell, talking about Andy character and this and the character. Keith should be the last person to talk about that. He should be the last person. Because you see, he's playing on the idea that Grenadians over time does forget. They forget quickly. But boy, oh boy, it's amazing. It's amazing. I'm not surprised. That's the individual. That's Keith Mitchell. All right? A friend sent me a photo of him on a plane, he and whoever on a plane. Because I think the NNP has something out there in New York. All right? It's amazing, It's amazing. It's amazing. Folks, don't forget on tomorrow we're going to Carriacou. All right? Tomorrow we're going to Carriacou. So if you have your ticket, well, you know, boarding time is 7:45. First boat, second boat, 8:15. All right. So again, if you have your tickets, I look forward to seeing you on tomorrow morning, God's willing. So we are heading to Carriacou to celebrate 3 years with the Honorable Tevin Andrews and his team and the people of Carriacou and PT Martinique. When we arrive in Carriacou, we will do what is called a motorcade. So we going around Carriacou. We're going to see Carriacou firsthand. And then we will come back to Paradise Beach. Food on sale, drinks on sale, music. I mean, you're free to bathe, you're free to play games. It would be a really nice time at Paradise Beach. All right? Tomorrow, God's willing. Remember, the boat leaves at 7:45 and 8:15. It means that you have to get there before, because we are not waiting for anybody. All right? We are not waiting for anybody. And I want to say to the folks who believe that tomorrow they can call me and say, Kem Jones, we on our way. Or we in this place or that place and we coming. No, it won't happen. All right? It won't happen. So again, I'm saying to you, come early. Because remember, you have to give your name, your correct name. So if you come early, you can give your correct name and your phone number. You need to give that. Your correct name and your phone number. That is for the boat. And also for me, because data is important. So the boat needs your correct name. I need your name, your correct name, and your phone number. We need to keep in touch. So you need to do that. So before you get the ban, so yes, you have your ticket, but before you get the ban, you need to give your name. So if you come early, we can get that out of the way so we can leave on time. So I'm urging you to come early. Once you reach, somebody will be there taking your name and you'll be given a ban. And they will take your ticket, your correct name. All right? So, and even if you have children with you, you need to also give their name, the correct name. All right? So that is important. Very, very important. So I want to urge you, come early. Wilma, she'll be selling breakfast there. So come early, you could have your breakfast and then you could roll up. All right? So remember that. Come early, present your ticket. Someone will take your name, or two persons will take your name, your correct name, telephone number, and you'll get a ban. Once you get that ban, then you come on board. You will be able to board the boat. All right? I told you we are not going up there where you're going to carry luggage and that kind of thing. No. It's a chartered boat, and you're not allowed to carry all this luggage and this carry-on and this check-in bag and all kind of bag and bag. No, you're not allowed to do so. We're going up there in person, individuals. So leave all your big bag and all your big thing at home. All right? Leave that at home. If you want to go up with Osprey, with your big bag and so on, you can do so another day, but not with me. Not with me. So letting you know that up front. Good? And also remember, when you go up to Carriacou, you're free to visit family, friends, have a wonderful time. But the main place, the main hub is Paradise Beach. And we leave Carriacou at 10 p.m. So at 10 p.m., everybody should already be on the 2 boats to head down, because we are leaving the boats. They're leaving Carriacou at 10 p.m. So it means that you have to leave wherever you are in Carriacou and be on the boat before 10 p.m. So we leave in Carriacou at 10 p.m. The boat leaves Carriacou at 10 p.m. And whoever gets left at that time, you would have to find your way in Carriacou, and you have to find your way down. And the ticket that you have is only for that day. Only for the day. So don't believe that you can come down, show that ticket Monday and come down with Osprey. No. Osprey has their own tickets that they would issue you when they're doing the normal run. All right? So just saying, very important that you understand that. You have to be on the boat, on the 2 Ospreys before 10 a.m. Sorry, 10 p.m. Before 10 p.m. So it's important to understand that. All right? And you have to walk with your little money. Because when you're up there, you may want to buy a drink or drinks. You want to buy food. You may want to, walk with your little money to do that. All right? Don't expect people, you could go and beg people and see if you, no. If you have to beg, stay home. If you think or know or believe that you're going to beg to get a drink, beg to get food, beg to get this, stay home. Don't come. All right? Because it's not a begging trip. If you know you don't have money, stay home. Because you need a little money to buy like a drink, to buy like a food, to keep things going for you. Because remember, we go in there for a pretty long time. It's a pretty long time. From the morning time to 10 p.m. That's a long time. All right? You need to have money for at least lunch. So you need to have money. Just giving you the heads up. Very important. And to the people who intend to organize the bus, so once you're organizing a bus, remember, I'm only paying half of the bus for you to go back home. All right? For you to go back home, not for you to come to take the boat. That's important. And then the bus must have 14 people or over. So don't come with a bus with 10 people and believe Kim Jones want to pay half for you to go back home. All right? No. Nope. Remember that. Okay? Remember that. So it's for you to go back home. And I will, on the day, find out, because there are people going to come. I'm going to find out from the people there on the day. So I'm going to have buses and so on standby. But I want to find out first how many people need transport. So I'm not going to waste money and get bus, just hire a bus and let it come and they have to go empty. I'm not going to function that way. So I'm going to find out from you on the day. You come, you sign up, there's a space, there's a need for bus or transport, where you live in, put on that information. So I would know. So when I look, I would see 5 people for Vincennes, or 5 people for La Digue, or 10 people for Soubise, so I know how to organize the transport. So when they take in your information, they're going to take that too, whether you need transport to go back home or not, and where you're from. So I would organize accordingly. All right? That's important. That's very, very important. So we all set. We all set. Good? We all set. So I want to wish you all the best. I will be in St. George's again today. There are a few people who have to collect tickets from me. But the tickets are done. We don't have more tickets. Period. The people who spoke to me, and I told you I have for you, then I have for you. Other than that, we have no more tickets. All right? So take good care, folks. And those who spoke to me, and maybe I told you come by the boat, I would prefer if you could check me today. So if there are people who could check me today for the tickets, no problem. That would be better. If you could check me today for the tickets, that would be wonderful. I'll be by Ricky's Bar and we get that over with so you have less back and forth tomorrow. So if you could check me today for the tickets, that would be good, right? I want to urge you. If you could check me today by Ricky's Bar, I'll be there after the program, all right? I spoke to a number of people. So if you, and maybe I told you, come by the boat and collect it tomorrow. If you could check me today, I'll appreciate that. It will be easier for me. Coming to think about it, it will be easier for me to deal with you before. So you just come and present, and that's it. All right? So again, just saying, if I spoke to you and I told you, well, by the boat and you'll collect it by the boat. I mean, if you're far, far away, so be it. But if you could make it to check me today by Ricky's Bar, right? I will give you your ticket there. That will be nice. I will give you your ticket by Ricky's Bar right there and then. Good? So just saying again, I may have told you come and collect it by the boat. But if you could make it to come and check me by Ricky's Bar in Tong today, do so and get your ticket and get it out of the way. That would be nice. I will appreciate that. Trust me, I will appreciate that. That would kind of ease me up for tomorrow. It will ease me up for tomorrow. Tomorrow I could focus on other things. All right? I could focus on other things tomorrow. So we know the amount of tickets issued, right? We know the amount of tickets issued. We know the amount of people going on each boat. So we know all of that. So I'm saying again, it is important. If you spoke to me and I told you I'm keeping tickets and so on, holler at me, link me up. I'm in town today. After the program, I'm going in town. So you could check me in town. And that's the people who spoke to me, who I told I'm holding tickets for them. All right? Yeah. Good. So, folks, I want to wish you all the best. Take good care. Have a wonderful day. And see you tomorrow, God's willing, starting from 7:45. So I will be there about 6 o'clock, 6:15, 6:20, 6:30. I will be there already. All right? 7 o'clock, I'll be there already. Trying to take the names and the information from people because we have to present that to the boat. So that is important. Very important. Take good care, folks. Have a wonderful weekend.